practice method that I've used many times in the past. It's called the hiccup method. So whenever you have a fast passage that's very notey and there's a lot of finger work going on, this is a great method because it helps to clean up the passage. It helps to get your fingers moving faster. It helps them to lift off the string. And typically when we have a little bit of a struggle with the 16th note passage like that, it's because our fingers are a bit stuck. So this is kind of retraining and rewiring the fingers. So what I love about this method is that it goes straight to the core of the problem. And when I mean the problem, there are multiple things that cause problems in fast passages. So it does go to the core of one of the potential problems that you may be having. And it really reprograms the whole nervous system. So if you're used to this sort of thing, then you're gonna be great at it. If you're used to putting your fingers down, right when the bow goes, right? If you're used to connecting those two, then this will be challenging, because what it does is it forces the fingers to go right after the previous note instead of the finger moving with the current note. So the current note would be played, with probably like a bow change, for example. And so it teaches the muscles to go before, right? A slight moment before you're used to going. It's basically a mental thing where it connects in your mental space. It connects your new note to being placed right after the old finger. I hope that makes sense. So I'll just show you, and hopefully you'll kind of get the idea. So you want to put your first note down, and then play 2 quick notes with a heavy bow, very concentrated sound. And so as soon as you put your finger, you want to put your bow like that. Now the secret and the most important part is that right after that you put the next note. Okay, so did you see how quickly my finger went, right? And then you play this note, and then look at how quickly my next note got prepared. Now this one is really important because this is a note that changes by removing a finger instead of placing a finger. And as a violinist, until a certain point in your progress, you don't really think about that very much. And then at some point you realize that, and then it's kind of a big revelation moment, So hopefully that will help you also, realizing that we need to remove the finger quickly. So I like this passage because it has an example of everything. So you just go very patiently, right? Oops, I forgot to do that one. Okay, very patiently. And you don't want to go to like a really big section. Just keep it really small and notice where the pattern changes, right? And try to move your finger with a little bit of a zing, a little bit of speed. Now the interesting part is about to come up. Oops, that one was a little too slow. Now here it comes. So what did I do right there? Even my bow level went immediately after the old notes were right there. See how my finger and my bow went quickly? Even right there. Here's a shift coming up. Same principle. Oops. And you don't have to practice the last 2 notes because they're not really part of the fast sequence. So even when there's a shift, you want to get that shift. What most beginners or people who are not used to it, what most of them do is they play this one, and then as soon as their finger's ready, their bow sort of, goes without you telling it to. So it's sort of kind of jumping forward with a mind of its own. So that's a clear signal that your bow is very, very used to going right when the finger goes, and your finger is used to going right at the last minute. And often, if that's happening, often the finger is just slightly late. So you'll get this kind of sound. I call that like the param 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 param. So there's a little bit of like tram inside. So that is a clear sign that your finger is too late. So while we're on the topic, just want to throw out one more thing to you is that if you're having a fast passage and it's messy, you really want to just sit back and listen to it. If you can, record it. If you don't like to watch yourself, I usually just put my phone somewhere nearby down. And so I'm not really videotaping, the visual. I'm just listening to the audio. And then you just want to listen to what's going on. So is maybe the finger before the bow, right? Or is the bow before the fingers? Or is are the mistakes more on string crossings? Are the mistakes on certain fingers, so that maybe you found out you have like a lazy pinky, or pinky just is not as well as well exercised, not as fit as the other fingers. So those are just few things that I just wanted to have you think about as well. But no matter what, doing this practice helps tremendously. So then you just make sure you have to just, in order for this to be effective, and I promise you're going to see immediate results, but you do have to do quality control. So be sure that your finger really goes right after. And as soon as your finger goes, you have all the time in the world. So if you want to delay yourself and pause a little bit, you see how my next finger is ready, but I can take all the time I want. I can just sit here and think about the next one, right? So really try to discipline yourself to go very, very slowly, and then don't go until you have like all the next 2 or 3 steps ready, and then go, right? Then you have to get the next 2 or 3 steps ready and then go. So that's the trick there. And then if you're still having trouble, there could be other things going on too. Something that I often do for myself is I vary the bowing. So I might go up bow first instead of down bow, so playing the passage reverse like that. So that really kind of sheds a lot of light on the situation as well. You could even do slurring combos, so do like 2 slur, 2 separate, or 1 separate, 2 slur, 1 separate. You could do lots of slurring combos and see if that kind of cleans up the situation as well. So yeah, just the thing I showed you, make sure you do it really well, and then maybe do it again and make sure that you did everything well. Do it maybe 3 times in a row. And if you were to sort of fudge on some of the timing while you're practicing, what you'll find out is when you go back and you run it, just forget about it and run it again. What you'll find out is that where you fudged a little bit, that's where the mistakes happen. So you really have to keep that quality control up, and then you'll see results. So anyway, please do comment below and let me know if you already know about this method, if you never did and you tried it, even if it's months later, weeks later. Please do comment below and let me know how it went. And I really do enjoy reading your comments. I enjoy just knowing who's watching out there. So it's nice when you tell me a little bit about yourself. So I love it when you introduce yourself a little bit. And also let me know what your interests are, or what you're practicing, and what maybe could be useful to your practice. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this one, and have a great day.